Y'all never believe it. A bass fisherman can win a crappie tournament. They were not happy that a bass fisherman won a crappie tournament. So here's the deal. Another change of plans, which is pretty consistent with the Crappie Club series so far as a change of plans, whether it be weather or audio. Microphone for this GoPro, and it didn't work right most of the day Saturday. Not a big deal because I did not go into enough detail of like exactly what was going down in this tournament. I had zero excitement to go. I went on Friday to go pre-fish and kind of see what was going on, and like we just got hit by all that cold. Like I said, the original lake, it was still frozen. This lake got partially frozen, and what that did, it caused a shad kill is what happened. And that lake, like that's the main forage in the lake. I didn't see any shad in 2 days other than the ones that were frozen in the ice or dead on the bank. And what it does is it really changes the bite. Friday, total struggle. I didn't catch any crappie. I didn't really see very many crappie except for one place, which is where I'm going to start. All right, everybody's fishing. We're taking the casting approach. This is where the last episode took place at, and you know, those crappie are just the water. Like I said in the last one, the water's a little cleaner. You got to cast at them. They get in big groups, yada yada. I never saw any of those big groups on Friday, but I knew I still needed to cast because on Friday I saw fish that were buried in the bottom that I was pretty sure were crappie. And my theory is that a lot of the shad died, went to the bottom, down in the brush. I think a lot of the fish are down there. I mean, you could see them creeping around, but they wouldn't react to much. So like I say, it made for a very unique bite. And you're about to kind of see what happened here. I get there, I'm seeing a couple fish that are up off the bottom. I'm sitting in about 24-ish feet of water. I'm seeing a couple fish that are up off the bottom that I suspect are crappie, just singles. And so I'm like, okay, throw and throw. I finally hit one. Catch it. You can't see, but there's a ton of boats behind me. Everybody's behind me. So everybody watches me catch this one. And I suspect it was probably 1 3/4 pound fish. I didn't even weigh them because I thought there was no chance that I could. That's how like down I was about it. I catch that fish, 1 3/4 pound, swing it, box it, almost immediately spin back around. And there's one a little higher up off the bottom. It's about 8 foot off the bottom if I remember right. And it was a big dot. Throw at it. Right here it is. 2.5 pounder. I didn't even know they grew that big in this place. An absolute unit for this place. I was really pumped at this point. Again, everybody watched me catch it. Catch that fish. That was the bait head with the 275 minnow 1 in the moolah color. Pretty standard for that place. Seems to be kind of the color when the water gets cold. And I think it's because it's kind of muted a little bit. Like it's kind of got that sheen to it, or that hue that's kind of shadly, if you will. And so from there, it just hit a wall. That was like the tail end of the morning bite, I suppose. And I eased around and looked around, and I got around one small group of fish that I spent a pretty good deal of time on. And I got a bump in them. Missed it. I don't know if I just hit one or if it hit me. And a lot of time goes by. And I broke a fish off. I'd had a wind knot that had gotten everything all just bunched up, and I did not properly tend to that. I've had 4 bites, caught 2 of them. One of them just ticked at it. Just broke one off. Cannot afford to break one off. I have 2 crappie that are way bigger than average. So if I can fill out a limit, I think I can blow this out. But, and it's hard to get by. Hard to get by. So as you can see, I'm like absolutely rattled that I broke one off. And I don't even know if it, looking back on it, I think it might have been a catfish or a bass. Like, it was a pretty big fish, but still, like, I was just in the zone. And I kept seeing these small groups of like 2s and 3s. And it was like really interesting. I saw them in this one zone. Every time I get in this one zone, I see these 2s and 3s. But no matter how much I fished for them or what I threw at them, they wouldn't do anything. They wouldn't move. And I could get them to scare with the trolling motor if I ran up on them. And I couldn't get them to do anything. Well. Taking a break to enjoy what some would call a Diet Coke. Man, this ain't lit, really. It's tough. Got about 2 hours left. I'm seeing more fish today than I did yesterday, so I mean, that's a good sign. It's a tough deal, but we're gonna keep plugging away at them. I mean, that's kind of all you can do is just fish at them. So I'm telling you, 3 more and we're gonna lock it up. I keep the word on the street, the rumor I'm hearing out here, we're all out here in a bunch. The word on the street is the boy in the bass boat's got 2. So I may be doing better than some. I might get up here and just get completely embarrassed. Hard to say, but just gonna keep throwing. I'm talking on the phone to my buddy on my break, and I'm like, dude, this sucks. I'm seeing these 3s or 2s and 3s and whatever. And I get back up and start fishing again, and I go through that same zone, and I start not even seeing the 2s and 3s and the small groups. Dude, this is a total bust. Like, this is so bad. I was happy to have what I had, but I was like, I really want to fill out this limit because I said it a lot. I thought I could blow it out if, if I filled the limit. The groups of 2s and 3s, like I said, they went away, and I get in this one zone, and there they are. One of those big groups like I saw the other day. They had, I don't know where they come from. Maybe it was the groups of 3s I was seeing around, and they all ganged up and figured they'd party. But I chased them for a while. I did. I chased those fish for a while. I'm cycling through baits like mad. I'm going 2-inch, 275, bright, natural, this color head, that color head, hair jig. Call it happenstance, call it luck, whatever you want to call it. It happened. And they finally fire, and I get one, and then it's absolute just lock in and fish for this group, and I catch one, then I catch a little one, and I do mean little, it was really small. Poke at them, finally filled out a limit, which was insane. I couldn't believe it. But they weren't leaving. Like, they weren't getting spooky. They never were spooky. They just wouldn't bite. They were just like doing nothing. They just wouldn't bite. And so then I sat down and did this with the minnow one. So you'll see it here. I'm rigging up the minnow one, essentially making a hover rig. And so I explained it there, but what I did is I took a drop shot hook for bass fishing. It's like a size 1 drop shot hook with it's got a keeper on the front. And I took my pliers and I bent up the eye where you tie on at about a 60-degree angle. And I took a little sleeve like a wacky band and put over the top of the minnow one, took a 1/32 ounce nail weight and stuck it in the nose. Run the hook through the back. The eye pops out, about yay much behind the nose, a little further back than a normal 90-degree. It's instead of being your line tie being out in front of the bait, it's back in the bait. And I don't know what triggered to make that rig, but I did. And I culled. I got to cull in a crappie tournament for the first time, which was pretty interesting. So I rigged it up like that, and I think that's something that could kind of be like a deal. And with that 275 minnow one, like, it holds the nail weight really good. And I should have got a video of it in the water, but the way that minnow kind of just like sits there and rocks. Like I was putting some English on it, is what I kept saying. I was putting a little English on it, and I wasn't trying to make the bait like bounce. I was just trying to make it move and kind of pulse, and that's what you could do with how that was rigged. They kind of did get spooky after I caught that final one. The wind was like northeast. It kept like swapping, so I kind of spooked them, and I eased back to the ramp. And I do have audio from up at the boat ramp. I'll let that roll.
Boy, they wasn't nowhere where I usually catch them out here.
I think you're the only one with a fish.
I was the only one that I know of. I would have thought they
Easy
would.
300.
Right. I don't know about easy.
I was starting to say.
Great. Caught him on first 2 casts and caught him on my last 3.
Well, I seen you catch him too.
Yeah.
You got big crappie for the year right now.
Yeah.
Cool.
Take that for you. Connor, congratulations, buddy.
Thank you.
Good job.
I enjoyed it. I'll see you on a couple weeks.
By God, we're gonna bring a better A game.
5 for 824 with a 252 big fish. Everybody else zeroed. No one else caught any. I caught 6 all day and made 1 call. It ain't me. I know it ain't me. It's that minnow one. I'm sure of it. But no, all jokes aside, that was nuts. I mean, they said they couldn't believe a bass fisherman rolled up and beat them. They said they were coming for me in the next one. I don't know about it. It just goes to show that, like, ignorance is bliss maybe a little bit. You don't have to do the old ways of crappie fishing and fish little bitty baits and, like, really slow down. Like, today, I mean, I was blowing and going, and I did not stop until I caught fish, or until I saw what I thought was crappie. So, I mean, it just goes to show that you don't have to fit in this bubble of crappie fishing. Like, I showed them the minnow one, and, like, to me, that's a normal bait, and they're like, man, you're fishing big stuff. All the shad in the lake are big. The 275 minnow one's totally different. Like I mentioned in the last one, you know, I mean, I was on the same lake today. These fish get fished for, and they see a ton of baits. And so, doing something a little different, get some extra bites. Honestly, unreal day. Super tough conditions. Just doing what I know to do. Took home the win. So, pretty pumped about it, I ain't gonna lie.